Hi everybody, welcome to the channel and so glad you're here. My name is Kathy Jarvis and this is Life at Sunny Lee. And back in January, I talked about some of the things, the goals I had for the year. And one of them was to organize the house and get rid of the clutter. Now, I've been fighting clutter all my life, but I decided to really start doing something about it about 10 years ago, and I'm still working on the process. The first year was fairly easy, but after that it gets harder and harder. And I'm not saying it's easy in the fact that it didn't take a long time to declutter. It did, because it was a mess, as you can see. But it was easy because I didn't have to make any big decisions. A lot of it was just broken things and trash. What is clutter? Clutter itself is defined in the dictionary as a collection of things laying around in an untidy mess. That pretty well described my house after working all those years and raising 3 kids and not really having a recycling place in town or even a place that you could take stuff to at the beginning. So everything seemed like it accumulated. And we have a tendency to collect things. We have a tendency to bring more stuff into the house than what we take out of the house. And it slowly adds up until one day you look around and you just can't breathe. There's stuff everywhere. You're paralyzed. You feel so depressed when you walk in the door. I remember when I first started, you walk in the back door and this is what you saw. It was a mess. And sometimes you have to actually buy things to organize. So I went and I got the cabinet and now it looks better. The room I'm in right now was also a mess. And it took a while to clean it up because this used to be the boys' room. And it's much better now. As you can see, there's no clutter at all. Even the desk isn't too bad, and what's on the desk, I'll show you some of the things that we're going to talk about. After you've decluttered for a while and got most of it out, and we're talking about the trash, things that are broken, things that you can't repair, these are the first things you get rid of. And you don't have to worry about those. You know you're going to get rid of those. But then you come down to some things that are just kind of sentimental. You go, oh my gosh, do I keep it or do I get rid of it? Well, first of all, no one's telling you you have to get rid of anything. Take, for example, this green hutch. It's not clutter, but it's hiding a bunch of stuff that could be clutter. Games, TV, stuff like that. It's a way to organize the clutter that was in this room. But this is a sentimental hutch because my mom painted it. My mom did the paintings on the outside, and when she passed, this was one of the objects I decided to keep. So no one's telling you you have to get rid of sentimental things. The problem becomes, like when she died, I was bombarded with all of her stuff because I'm an only child. And I had to make this tough decisions as to what I really wanted to keep and what I wanted to get rid of, because it was all sentimental. And I found the best way to do that is to give it a little bit of time. Take the stuff that you know for sure you want to keep, like this hutch, put it in a place, give it a home. The things you're not so sure about, you don't know whether they're sentimental, but you don't know if you really want to keep them. Put those in a box and put them away in the garage or in the basement and wait for a little bit, maybe a year. If you haven't gone back to that box and gotten anything out of it, it's probably not as sentimental as you thought it was. So the problem isn't keeping sentimental things, it's knowing when to stop, when to say, okay, I've kept enough, it's time to get rid of some things. And that's, like I said, it's hard, but it can be done. That brings us to the second problem. It was a gift. You don't want to hurt the person's feelings, but you already had one, you didn't like it, it didn't work out the way you wanted it to, it didn't fit into your decorations. So you can get rid of these gifts, and it's not going to ruin your friendship. If they asked about it, just tell them. But most times they won't even bother about asking. They give you a gift and they forget about it. They're not coming into your house and looking around and go, where's that gift I gave her? I don't see it. Very few people do that. They're coming to see you, not to see where you put their gift. So if it doesn't fit into your house, if it turns out to be clutter, then get rid of it. Now, another problem that we have is letting go of stuff that you paid good money for. I paid good money for this. Okay, it doesn't work too well. It's out of date. It's old. It's not worth the money that I paid for it in the first place. Plus, I've got a new one. So why am I keeping this one? There's no reason to keep it. This needs to go out the door. Another thing that we do is we tend to hold on to things saying, I might need this later. It's a nice little waterproof bottle. It might come in handy. Or this old fire alarm. It doesn't work half the time. Oh, I might need it. Maybe I can get it to work. I'll just try. Forget it. If it's cheap and doesn't cost that much, you're not sure if it even works right, do you want to put your life on the line for something that may or may not work? Nope, this goes. As far as this bottle, people get subscriptions all the time. They always come in these little bottles usually. It's not going to hurt to get rid of a bottle or two. So don't hold on to things just because you may need them later. By the time you hunt for what you're looking for, you could probably go to town and buy one, and you're probably going to end up going to town and buying it anyway because you won't be able to find it in all the mess, and then you're going to end up with two of them. So if you're not going to be using it in the next couple days, month or so, get rid of it. There's no need to keep it around. Okay, another thing that we need to get rid of are objects and items that remind us of dreams that we once had that we no longer have. We've lost interest in them, or we just didn't have the talent to do them. And one of those things here for me is a book on professional photography. I'm never going to be a professional photographer. I do the best I can on YouTube. Another thing is I meant to read all these books I got from my mom. I didn't like them. So why am I keeping them? Just because they were from her? Nope, it's time for these to all to go. So you need to look around and get rid of stuff like that. Another thing that keeps us from decluttering is that it's just overwhelming. There's so much to do. I've been there. I've done that. I'm still doing that in the garage. I had my garage just the way I wanted it almost, and then my mom died, and then we ended up bringing all her stuff into our garage, and I'm still going through it. My garage is a mess again. So I'm having these decisions to make right now as to sentimental stuff, what's good, what's not, and trying to decide what to donate, what not to donate. I find that the 5-box system is best. You have a box for trash, a box for stuff to donate, a box of stuff to find a new home for, either in your house or not, a box for a yard sale, and a box of I'm not sure yet. Have everything in a box, have those boxes, put the stuff in them, and then get them out of the house. The trash goes out, the donation stuff goes out. The stuff that you have to find a home for, find a home for it. If you can't find a home for it, then consider putting it in the sell box. If you have a sell box, make sure you have that sell. You know, you don't want to start collecting stuff and never putting it out on a yard sale or taking it to a flea market or something. Get it out of the house. And the stuff you don't know about, wait a few months, go back and look at it, and then go and make up your mind then. So I hope that's helped you to declutter your house. I must say that when I started being able to walk through my house without tripping over things, and it made me feel so much better. I felt lighter. I felt like the house was lighter. It relieves depression. It makes it so much easier to clean. I could clean up and down the whole house in one day. Before, I could never do that. I can do that now. I just go through, dust everything, and run the sweeper, and I'm done. It's not like you have to move everything out of the way, and you don't have to. It's just easier. So I hope you've learned something. I hope you have a good year. I hope you can declutter something. Remember, just take a few minutes each day. And at the end of the day, before you go to bed, go through and just straighten up anything that happened to get messed up that day. So easy to keep it clean once you get it clean. And make the rule, bring something in, take something out. Bounce it. It's all about bounce. So remember to give it a thumbs up if you liked the video. Subscribe to the channel and see if I managed to keep the other goals this year. You'll find those in the video that I'm linking above. And remember, dream big and follow that dream. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.